What up, guys? It's Emma Trades with another banger video. Today, we are actually doing part two of Would You Take This Trade? I got a ton of feedback from the first video. And the reason so is because one, I'm showing you guys if I'm going to, if I'm not going to take a trade. And most importantly, I'm answering why. Because three, you guys need to understand if you are or are not taking the same exact trades as me. So y'all know the rules. For the ones who don't, I will describe it real quick. We are only trading supply and demand, and we are only trading off of 5-minute time frame. That is it. Okay. Every entry, we're going to do no impulse entries for this episode. It is just a literal break of the previous candle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a setup up on the board, and I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds to answer it. Once those 5 seconds end up timing out, I'm going to run through the trade, and based upon it winning or losing, I'm going to tell you A, if I would or would not have gotten into the trade, and B, the reasoning behind that answer. So without further ado, let's run it. Okay, so we got our first trade sitting right here. We have a beautiful demand sitting down here. We are in an uptrend to give you guys some context for the day, and we're just now sitting in London session. So as soon as we come into the zone, if we come into the zone, okay, beautiful. So like I said, every trade, we are only taking the break of the previous candle's high. Okay, so this sitting right here. If we break past this high, would you get into this trade? Just like the last video, we are chasing a 1 to 2. We're not going to do anything serious as far as risk management on the trade. It's just a simple 1 to 2. You win the trade. If you don't hit the 1 to 2, you lose the trade. So, would you take this trade? Okay, so we are now sitting in this trade. As soon as it took us in, we're immediately in drawdown. And boom, bro, you are out of there. So, would I have personally taken this trade? No, bro, I would not have taken this trade. There's no gap sitting before this demand, which is a big rule of mine. So, yes, we do have the 200 on our side. Yes, we are in an uptrend. And yes, we have a demand formed right here, but it is not a valid demand. And the reason because there's not a gap right before the demand. Now, understood, we did get a decent reaction to the zone, but you guys have to understand, which I can't teach you on videos, is the initial reaction when we get into the zone. Okay, so first of all, this close was not clean. It didn't close out of the zone. But two, when you first come down into a zone, you should see that immediate rejection confirming that this is a zone where we do have buyers who are looking to take the market further up. Okay, but invalidated trades simply because we did not get a gap before our zone. This is a loss. Okay, guys, so we've now entered our second setup, and I think it'll look kind of familiar to you guys because we just took this demand sitting up here. So it just gives you guys a hint right there altogether. Are you going to take the same leg of structure twice? Are you going to move on with your day? Do we got our heavy gamblers out here or what's going on, bro? So anyways, as soon as we break the previous candle's high, if it ends up happening, whether it's way the hell up here or the next candle, we will be getting into this trade. So let's go ahead and see here when we get that reaction. Okay, let's go ahead and mark this guy out. Okay, now, and we get our entry here. So, and I'll let you guys even cheat a little bit here, bro. Will you take this trade? Okay, not starting off too well, but we're still turning upwards, and you are taken out of there, baby. So, would I have taken this trade? Absolutely, I am taking this trade, bro. It is just a loss. Okay, we had a very clean demand sitting down here, and this is a overextended demand. Usually when I get a reaction when price is live, which we obviously can't test with back testing, and when I mean overextended demand or overextended supply, that means we had multiple demand levels in this situation before coming down to the last demand of the entire impulsive leg. Okay, so this is the leg we're trading off of. Obviously, we want to buy low and we want to sell high. So we're looking for a discounted price within this entire range to buy price back up because we understand that we are trending upwards. We are only trend traders. Okay, so we burst past this first demand, no love. We burst past the second demand, no love. Both of them we wouldn't have taken because there's no gap sitting before them, and there's no load to take out before coming to them. And we came all the way down to this overextended demand. I'm taking this all day with the candle break. And of course, it follows all of our rules, which is for those of you who don't know, watch my stream for one, but two, I'll run through them with you real quick. Okay, so the 200 needs to be on my side to confirm that I have trend, which is my friend, on the side of my trade. Two, we need to have a gap sitting before the zone that I'm trying to trade from, which we have a gap sitting right there. And we have a gap sitting up here, which I'll make these red so you guys can kind of see that a bit more clearly. Red and red. Okay. Third, we need to have a low to take out for demand or a high to take out for supply setup before coming down into our zone, which is this sitting right here. Okay. This is the low to take out, understanding that we do have people stop losses sitting under here before continuing higher. So we have a liquid grab and a demand setup all within our favor. That is for every single trade. We always need a low to take out before coming into our zone. So here we had our low to take out. We have our gaps. We have our 200 on our side. So now all we're looking for is the reaction off of the zone, whether that's impulsive, which we're not doing for this video, or the break of the previous candle high. Okay, so we didn't break past this guy here and we lost the trade. And so what are we going to do? We move on to the next trade, bro, and don't go crying because you understand probabilities are on your side, my friend. But if you guys did lose this trade, you were correct to take it. I would have taken this trade as well. So let's go ahead and move on to now the 3rd out of 5 trades next. So now we're here at my 3rd trade. And lo and behold, we're now on our 3rd trade of the same exact impulsive leg. Now I really got to ask you guys, like, bro, are you really going to take 3 setups on the same exact impulsive left? Just one. Go ahead and ask yourself that. So here, if we break the previous candle's highs, just chasing a 1 to 2, putting stops below the lowest wick of all the candles that entered into our zone, would you take this trade? Okay, very solid start to the trade. Starting to come back in a drawdown here. Woo, and a banger. That is a winner. Absolutely, I am taking this trade, brother. And here's the reason why. First of all, yes, we have had 3 trades in this one video off of this one impulsive leg up, okay? So I'm telling you guys, you're really going to take a 3rd setup based upon this one impulsive leg. Well, your answer should have been, I didn't take this first trade sitting up here because it wasn't a valid demand. Now, you did take this 2nd trade over here, which is this guy sitting right here, okay? It wasn't valid because we didn't have a gap sitting right below it. Price needs to fill in gaps before continuing higher. If we trade with gaps, with other confirmations, we understand we have a higher probability of winning the trade. Very, very simple, okay? So then we went ahead and we took our 2nd trade of this impulse, well, actually our 1st trade of this impulsive leg up is this guy sitting right here. As soon as we broke previous candle highs after tapping into here, we took this trade. I took this trade as well, and it ended up losing. But what had happened here? As soon as we came back down and took us out, our zone is still holding and showing that same decent rejection off of our demand. We are not closing deeper into the zone, which means our demand is still valid. Our stop was probably just too tight. I am A-okay with giving my trade a 2nd chance on 2 bases. One, if this zone did not get taken out in full, or lastly, if we did get our demand taken out. So say right here, we got this demand completely obliterated, but previous sessions lows were sitting right here, okay? So It took out our zone because it's the overextended demand. And I know this gets a little tricky for y'all, so you better follow along, brother. This is our overextended demand, which means it is our last demand in this entire impulsive sequence up. If we were to take out this previous session lows, say this is Asian lows, and come back into this impulsive leg, back into the zone, we didn't actually clearly break past this low and close past this low. That is what we call a liquid grab. And we can hop back into that trade. But if that's not taking out a London session low, and this candle were just to come all the way down and take out the zone and close below it, I am not giving my trade a second chance. The only liquid grabs that I take are taking out a previous session lower high. That is very, very important. It's the only time I use liquid grabs. Besides that, as far as liquid grabs, of course, we need to have a low to take out before coming up into our zone. So this is the liquid grab of this low here, came down into our zone. That's when we participate. So all of our setups have a liquid grab mixed with supply and demand, but just purely taking a liquid grab trade, it has to be taking out a low or high of the previous session. So very, very key. I want to go over that multiple times so you guys understand this is the only time I'm taking liquid grab. So if you did take this trade, congrats. We got our first banger here. We done took out our first trade. We lost here and we made it all back what I wanted to. So we are back in profit. Okay, guys. So we are now back with our fourth trade of the session. We got a nice little supply, our first supply setup, and our first different impulse leg setup of this entire video. This is our impulsive leg sitting down here, cruising all the way down. This is a nice little pre-New York trade, okay, which is well within my trading time. I get on at 7:30, which is sitting about right here, okay? So as soon as we come up into the zone, let's see if we actually make it up to it. Boom. So as soon as we break previous candle lows, we are in this trade, or are we not in this trade? I'll put it there. If it don't hit, I will put another one up. And we're just chasing a 1 to 2 here. Okay, now we can tighten this up a bit here. Still putting stops right above the highest candle of the wicks that have hit our supply zone. And we're just chasing a 1 to 2 right here. So, would you take this trade? Okay, starting off strong. We now have New York open. Coming back up an entry, just sitting in a bit of drawdown. And it's a banger. So, did you guys take this trade? You didn't take this trade. Did I take this trade? I would not take this trade, bro. Yes, I understand it's a winner. I would have been out of this guy here. So, what had happened? Well, to me, this is not the impulsive leg that I'm playing off of right here. Okay. Now, this is when cross time frame analysis kind of comes into play, but this sitting over here, this is our entire impulsive leg, good sir, coming all the way up. Okay, so we have multiple layers of demand that we would be chasing. And how do we know if we don't understand higher time frame analysis to confirm our trend? Use that trusty old 200 MA to be on our side. Okay, so we have multiple demands sitting down here. But me personally, I just wouldn't be a part of the setup. And the reason for that is there is no gaps to fill for any of these demands coming down into them. None. They've already been filled. Okay. So this has been a trade I wouldn't have participated on. Yes, it looks clean. Yes, we have a very nice gap sitting before the zone. Yes, we have a very beautiful reaction sitting at the zone. And of course, we're sitting at a supply, but we're missing a very key level. And also we have this high to take out before coming up into the zone. Okay. Bread and butter setup, except for one thing. We are trend trading traders, and the 200 is not on our side, bro. So I wouldn't have participated in this. If you guys did, you won. Good job, you fucking gamblers. But I wouldn't have taken this trade. Okay. It was just something I've been missed out on. This is going against trend. This is a retracement trade, which I just do not take. So let's go ahead and move on to our last and final fifth trade of this episode. Okay, guys, so we are on our fifth and last trade of the segment. Not gonna lie, this one is kind of hard and tricky. So let's see, as soon as we break the previous candle's high of this demand zone sitting down here, would you guys take this trade or would you not take this trade? And I encourage you, so I'm even talking a little bit longer, so you have about 10 seconds instead of 5 to give you the opportunity to use your brains a little bit before you answer yes or no on this question. And of course, as always, we will discuss it as soon as we do or don't hit TP. So, would you take this trade? We got immediate liftoff in this trade, and boom, within 15 minutes, bro, TP is smacked. So, would I have taken this trade? Of course, my brother. Yes, 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 I would have taken this trade. This is actually a bread and butter, beautiful setup for me. Not only do we have a demand sitting down here, which doesn't have much of a gap, but we have a tiny minor gap right here to fill before coming down into it. We have a reel in our first liquid grab setup of this session. Not only is this a major low, or this is a minor low, but what type of low is this? This is London lows, bro. This is the absolute most low of the entire session. So what do we know about this point here? We have a ton of stop losses sitting right here from people who have bought it from this point. Now, obviously, bears and bulls are struggling back and forth. They have no idea where they want price to go, no idea where they want price to go. But I know where they want to go. They want to take out everybody's stop loss before continuing in the true trend of the market, which, if you look to the left, is obviously bullish. We are working off of this impulsive leg sitting right here. Okay, so what happens? We went ahead and we took out these London lows. The 200 is on our side. We have that minor gap to fill, and we get a decent reaction coming into the zone. The second candle wasn't too clean. We kind of bled deep into it, but didn't even tap 50% of the zone before getting our break of previous candle high. As soon as it tops in, we shoot up right for our 1 to 3 like water, bro. My favorite bread and butter and also only liquid grab setup I would take. So I wanted to throw that into to you guys to understand what I'm talking about with this previous high and low session liquid grab trade. So that is it for this episode, bro. We're gonna do 5 trades. I said I'm gonna do one once a month for you guys, but now this is the second week since the first one, and I already came back with another one, sir. I got good feedback, and all these videos are based upon you guys. So if there's an idea you have of something you're struggling with, or something you'd like to learn more about, or anything about my group, make sure you comment below and let me know what's up, bro. I'm here for you. Okay, so until next time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe the video, and I will see you on the next one.